What if I told you that one of the oldest, most humble foods known to mankind might be a powerful ally for supporting your gut, soothing your joints, and nourishing your skin? What if a keto wellness wasn't in some expensive high-tech supplement, but simmering away in a pot on your grandmother's stove? Stick around, because today we're talking about a timeless classic that's making a huge comeback, and we're going to separate the solid facts from the hopeful hype. Hello and welcome to the Healthy Food to Eat podcast, your deep dive into the foods that can fuel your body. We're all about cutting through the noise, looking at what the science actually says, and making healthy eating simple and accessible. Today, we are uncorking the golden elixir, the comforting classic, the liquid gold that is bone broth. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Bone broth? Isn't that just soup stock? And you're not entirely wrong, but the difference is significant. It's the long simmering time, often 12, 24, or even 48 hours, that allows time to draw out a unique profile of compounds from the bones and connective tissues. This isn't some new age trend. It's an ancient practice, rooted in the wisdom of using the whole animal. But with its recent surge in popularity, the claims have gotten bigger and bigger. So today, our job is to explore the potential benefits of bone broth. We'll look at what's inside it, what the research suggests it might do for your body, and most importantly, we'll be very clear about what we know for sure versus what is still theory. Ready to get simmering? Let's start with the facts. What is actually inside a cup of bone broth? To understand bone broth, we have to look at its key components. The long simmering process breaks down connective tissues into some very interesting compounds. The undisputed superstar is collagen, which, when cooked, breaks down into gelatin. Have you ever cooled a roast chicken and seen the liquid turn to jelly? That's the gelatin, and its presence is a good sign of a well-made broth. That gelatin is rich in amino acids, the building blocks of protein. Bone broth is particularly known for a few key players. Glycine, an amino acid with known anti-inflammatory properties that also plays a role in calming the nervous system. Proline, crucial for your body's own collagen production and wound healing. Glutamine, an important fuel source for the cells that line our intestines. Beyond the proteins, bone broth also contributes a range of minerals and electrolytes like calcium, magnesium, and potassium. Now, it's important to set the right expectation here. Modern studies have shown that while these minerals are present and easily absorbed, the amounts are often quite modest. So think of bone broth as a contributor to your mineral intake, but not a primary source you should rely on to meet your daily needs. Finally, you get compounds from cartilage like glucosamine and chondroitin, names you might recognize from joint health supplements. So the takeaway here is that bone broth provides a unique complex of collagen, amino acids, and minerals. Now let's explore what science suggests this combination might do for our health. Starting with the gut. You've probably heard the claim that bone broth heals leaky gut. This is one of the biggest claims out there, so we need to be very precise about it. The theory is compelling. Our gut lining is a delicate barrier, and factors like stress and a poor diet can compromise it, leading to what some call increased intestinal permeability. So how might bone broth help? The idea is that the gelatin and amino acids it contains could provide support for this barrier. For instance, the amino acid glutamine is a primary fuel source for our intestinal cells. The theory goes that providing these cells with an easy-to-digest source of fuel helps them function optimally. Additionally, glycine has demonstrated anti-inflammatory properties in some studies. But here's the crucial context. As of now, there are no direct human clinical trials that show drinking bone broth itself heals the gut lining. Much of the evidence we have comes from animal studies or from research on high-dose supplements of individual amino acids like glutamine. So the most accurate way to put it is this. Bone broth contains specific nutrients that are known to be important for gut health, and it may help support a healthy intestinal environment. It's a gentle, easily digestible, and nourishing food, which is why many people with digestive sensitivities find it soothing. It's a supportive food, not a magic cure. Now let's talk about our joints. This is an area where the logic is a little more direct. Our cartilage, tendons, and ligaments are all made primarily of collagen. As we age or through wear and tear, this tissue can break down. Bone broth provides several key compounds associated with joint health. Number 1, glucosamine and chondroitin. These are natural components of cartilage. Many studies on glucosamine and chondroitin supplements have shown that they can help reduce joint pain and stiffness for some people with osteoarthritis. Number 2, collagen building blocks. The gelatin in broth provides the amino acids like proline and glycine that your body uses as raw materials to build and repair its own connective tissues. It's a perfect example of like supports like. You're consuming the very components that make up your own joint structures. Again, let's be clear about the research. Most of the strong evidence we have for joint pain relief comes from studies on concentrated collagen peptide supplements, not from people drinking bone broth. While bone broth delivers these same compounds in a whole food form, the dosage is lower and more variable. So think of it as a wonderful proactive way to nourish your connective tissues as part of a broader joint health strategy. The connection between bone broth and beauty, glowing skin, strong hair, and nails, is all about one thing: collagen. Collagen protein provides the structural framework for our skin, giving it firmness and elasticity. As our natural production declines with age, we start to see fine lines and a loss of hydration. Now, I'm sure you've seen the explosion of collagen powders and supplements on the market, and there is a growing body of research on them. Some human clinical trials on collagen peptide supplements have found that they can improve skin hydration, elasticity, and the appearance of wrinkles. This is where we have to make a logical leap. Bone broth is a whole food source of collagen. By drinking it, you're providing your body with the amino acid building blocks it needs to produce its own collagen. While this makes perfect sense, we don't have direct studies proving that drinking bone broth yields the same results as taking a concentrated supplement. So the balanced perspective is that bone broth can be a fantastic part of an inside-out approach to skin health, providing the raw materials your body needs. It supports your skin's foundation, but it may not be a replacement for a targeted collagen supplement if you're seeking specific therapeutic results.
This next benefit might surprise you: better sleep. This potential benefit is linked to that powerhouse amino acid, glycine. Here's what we know from research. Glycine acts as a calming or inhibitory neurotransmitter in the brain. Some clinical studies on glycine supplements, typically around 3 grams before bed, have shown that it can improve sleep quality and reduce the time it takes to fall asleep, partly by helping to lower core body temperature. Can a cup of bone broth do the same thing? It's possible, but there's a catch. The amount of glycine in homemade bone broth is not standardized. It varies wildly based on the bones, the cooking time, and the water ratio. So while it's a good source, you can't be sure you're getting a therapeutic dose. However, the power of ritual is also at play here. The simple act of sipping a warm, savory, comforting beverage before bed can be an incredibly relaxing way to wind down and signal to your body that it's time for rest. So while it may not be a guaranteed sleep aid, it can certainly be a valuable part of a healthy sleep routine. With any popular food, myths abound. Let's clear up a few to keep our expectations grounded. Myth number 1: bone broth is a calcium powerhouse. The reality, while it sounds logical, the mineral content in broth is actually quite modest. It contributes, but it's not a substitute for calcium-rich foods like dairy or dark leafy greens. Myth number 2: my broth is a failure if it doesn't turn into a firm jelly. The reality, a jiggly broth is a great sign of high gelatin content, but a liquid broth is still packed with valuable minerals and amino acids. Don't throw it out. The final texture depends on the type of bones and your water-to-bone ratio. Myth number 3: you must skim off all the foam and fat. The reality, that foam is just protein, and the fat from a healthy, grass-fed animal contains valuable nutrients. Skimming is a matter of culinary preference, not nutritional necessity. Myth number 4: there's a risk of lead toxicity from bone broth. The reality, this is a concern that has been raised. The theory is that animals can store heavy metals in their bones. Some small, older studies had mixed results, but the general consensus is that the risk is likely very low. This is why there's still some debate among scientists. To be safe, the best practice is always to source your bones from high-quality, pasture-raised, or organic animals.
All right, are you feeling inspired? Making it yourself is incredibly simple and rewarding. Step 1. Source high-quality bones. Grass-fed, organic, mix of joints, marrow, and meaty bones. Step 2. Roast them. Optional, but adds amazing flavor. Step 3. Pot, water, and a splash of vinegar helps draw out minerals. Step 4. The long, slow simmer. 12 to 24 hours for chicken, 24 to 48 for beef. Use a slow cooker. Step 5. Add aromatics, onion, carrots, celery, garlic for the last 4 to 6 hours. Step 6. Strain and store. Fridge for 5 days, freezer for 6 months. So what's the real story on bone broth? It's not a magic potion or a cure-all superfood. It is, however, a deeply nourishing, traditional food that can be a fantastic supportive part of a healthy lifestyle. We've learned it provides a unique complex of collagen, gelatin, and amino acids that are important for our bodies. For your gut, it may help support a healthy gut environment by providing key nutrients like glutamine. For your joints, it delivers the whole food building blocks, like those found in joint health supplements, to nourish your connective tissues. For your skin, it can contribute to your body's own collagen production, supporting skin health from the inside out. For your sleep, its glycine content and its role as a warm, calming ritual may help you wind down for a better night's rest. So the key is perspective. Bone broth is not a replacement for a balanced diet, but it is a wonderful, nutrient-dense addition to one. My challenge to you this week is simple. Try incorporating bone broth as a nourishing food. You don't have to start with a giant 48-hour batch. The next time you roast a chicken, save the carcass. Simmer it for a few hours, use it to cook your rice, as a base for a simple soup, or just sip a warm mug in the afternoon and see how you feel. Pay attention to your body. The goal here isn't to chase a miracle cure, but to reconnect with a simple, time-honored way of creating deep, holistic nourishment. I'd love to hear about your experiences. Drop a comment below, connect with us on our social channels, and let's continue the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to the Healthy Food to Eat podcast. Until next time, stay curious and eat well.